Okay, good evening everyone. So this session is meant for explanation on group technology and flexible manufacturing system. So to begin with, we'll start with the group technology. So in group technology, we'll have some basic introduction, and thereafter we'll learn about the part families, part classification and coding. So regarding the group technology, this group technology is first used by Mitrofenov in 1950. So this group technology is a manufacturing philosophy in which similar parts are identified and grouped together to take advantage of their similarities in design and production. So similar parts are arranged in part families where each part family possesses similar design and manufacturing characteristics. As I told you in some of the offline sessions, the part components are classified based on the design similarities and manufacturing similarities. And once the parts are grouped together, they are uh, used to arrange the machines into a suitable layout, which minimizes the machine lead time, and also it increases the productivity of the factory or the organization which employs this group technology. So for example, how we classify the components based on the similarities of design and manufacturing is, let us say for example a plant or a manufacturing company is producing 10,000 different part numbers, may be able to group the vast majority of their components into 50 or 60 distinct families. That means a group of product varieties. That means if you are having 50 or 60 different types of product varieties, so each product variety would possess a similar design and manufacturing characteristics. It is reasonable to believe that the processing of each member of the given family is similar, and this should result in manufacturing efficiencies. The efficiencies are generally achieved by arranging the production equipment into machine groups or cells. So this is what we also call it as cellular manufacturing. So these machine groups are arranged only if we have a set of part families. These part families are classified based on the design or manufacturing similarities. That is the main motto of the group technology. And why should we implement the group technology? So these are the main reasons. One is to reduce MLT. MLT means machine lead time. Machine lead time means, uh, see, whenever you are manufacturing any component, whenever you are manufacturing any component, we are going to assemble, or what we can call it as, we are going to mount a raw material, and then the machining process will be performed. And once the machining process is performed, it will be removed from the machine, so that we can replace that onto another machine. That means, let us say you have 10 workstations. In these 10 workstations, you will have machine loading and unloading. So the time required for machine loading and unloading is called as lead time, or what we can call it as the mounting time. Okay, so that is about the lead time, machine lead time. It has to be minimized or reduced as much as possible. That is the first objective. Second objective is to reduce the work in process. Work in process means we have multiple workstations. Let us say the first workstation requires at least 10 minutes to complete a component. Our machining has to be done in 10 minutes. That is the minimum possible time that they have optimized. And let us say in the second workstation, the machining is done within 5 minutes. So let us say only if the component is machined within 10 minutes on the first workstation, let us say second workstation has completed component in 5 minutes. So there is a lag of another 5 minutes. 10 minus 5, you will have another 5 minutes where the second workstation has to be idle for 5 minutes. So in order to avoid that, what we will do is we will arrange work pallets where already machined component or semi-finished product which is done on first workstation will be ready to be delivered onto the second workstation. Okay, so that the second workstation will be loaded with finished product from the first workstation. So this is how we can reduce the work in process in group technology. Okay, so lead time means the time required for loading and unloading. Work in process means uh, when a semi-finished product is completed on a workstation, let us say workstation can be a CNC machine, it can be a spray coating machine, it can be a washing station, or whatever it is, or any robot for that case. Okay, then improving the scheduling process. Already I told you about the process planning, production planning during your unit 1. Okay, we can arrange the machines accordingly and thereby schedule of uh, uh, completing the finished product from the raw material can be properly scheduled. Fourth objective is to reduce the tooling. Okay, so instead of having redundancy, that means a repetitive uh, usage of the tool, if the layout is assigned properly, okay, with minimum requirement of tools, we can produce higher production. That means you know that one of the important methods in optimizing the productivity is considering the respective tool wear rate for a material removal rate. Material removal rate is relevant to workpiece. How much material is removed from the raw material to produce a finished product. That is what we call it as material removal rate. To every material removal rate, there will be a proportional tool wear rate, which can be drastically reduced with the help of group technology. Fifth one is about increase in the equipment utilization. So we can reduce the machine idle time. Okay, idle time can be reduced. That enhances the usage or utilization of an equipment. So these are the main objectives, 5 main objectives of group technology. Okay, so group technology is most appropriate under the following conditions where organization is mostly batch production. Batch production means you have medium product variety and medium number of products to be produced. And the parts can be grouped into part families. There are certain categories where it is almost impossible to categorize part varieties into part families. In such cases, group technology is not very efficient. But mostly, this is successfully used in most of the organizations because uh, most of them are batch production only. If you take on a global scale, 70% of industries are related to batch production. That is, we can use these flexible manufacturing systems for them as well. Okay, so the two major tasks that a company must undertake when it implements group technology is there are two tasks which represent the obstacles to application of group technology. First is identifying the part families. It takes significant time. Second is rearranging the production machines into machine cells. This is second aspect. Okay. Once this is done during the initiation, then automatically the main benefits that group technology can provide for a company is standardization of tooling, fixtures, and setups. Material handling is reduced drastically. The machine cells are much shorter than within the entire factory. Process planning and scheduling is simplified. Setup times, already I told you, tool setting up times and work setting up times will be reduced. Work in process is also reduced and higher quality of work is accomplished with group technology. So regarding this part families, so the part families is a collection of parts based on their design manufacturing attributes. Say for example, if you take these two components, they appear to be same. If you consider the geometry, they appear to be the same. But the problem is, let us say the first component is made out of steel, CR steel, 1015 CR steel with nickel plating. Okay, they are manufacturing 1 lakh parts per year, whereas the second category is 188 stainless steel, which they are manufacturing 100 pieces per year. Then the requirements, manufacturing requirements for the first part are entirely different from the manufacturing requirements of the second part. You can use the same in your examination as well. When you explain about the difference between the design and manufacturing similarities. Okay. So the third one, regarding the figure which is shown in figure 2, a group of parts which are having similar manufacturing processes, but they seem to be different when you consider their design. Okay. So here uh, you are having a threading operation. This is a cylindrical component, but if you consider part number, I'm sorry, the part numbers are not provided. See, the mouse cursor, it is showing two parts which are having two drilled holes here for this component. Also, you find two drilled holes to this component. So this drilling process can be done only using a milling machine. This cannot be done on a CNC turning machine. Whereas if you consider these three parts which are shown here, okay, the internal drilling for these two parts can be done only using lathe machine. Okay, so certain manufacturing similarities will be identified, though the parts are entirely different in the design attributes. So this is the explanation regarding consideration of the design and manufacturing similarities. Okay, so this is a process layout which clearly explains you that there is no proper procedure of moving a component from one location to another location. Okay, so this is what we call it as in process time. When you send a component from a one turning machine to another milling machine here, okay, then again this component is going from a milling machine to a drilling machine. There is no proper order. Okay, there is no classification of components based on their similarities. So this takes a lot of in process time, work in process time. Okay, so this is what we call it as a process type layout. This can be reduced drastically with the help of group technology. Okay, so once the uh, manufacturing design similarities are completed and machine cells are arranged as per the group technology layout, so this is how you can synchronize the specific requirements of an organization, okay, as per their design manufacturing similarities, and you can find out there is no uh, complexity in the transfer of component from one workstation to another workstation. Smoothly the components are moving from one workstation to another workstation in a uniform manner, okay, which reduces the working time, working process time and manufacturing lead time very drastically, and that will enhance the productivity. So this is about the group technology layout. The further details will be understood in the next video. Thank you.